such an asshole.
Hey everybody, old injured Cappy. I done fucked up my left pec, which I know is an odd one, but it worked out, and I don't know if I put too much weight. I don't know why it's this side and not the right side, but I am in pain. But anyway, that's not your concern or problem. We got Nick. Nick writes, "Hey asshole, here's one for you. I want to elaborate on some things you mentioned in your Does Love Exist video. 1. What exactly do you define as love, and how is it different from lust or infatuation? 2. In general, how is a man's ideal of love different from what a woman's might be? 3. How can you tell if you're in love with someone if someone loves you?" I don't know. Okay. Keep up the good work, Nick. P.S. I'm the guy that dates girls I don't like for practice. Oh yeah, I remember you. And I wasn't always like this, though. I used to be this emotional little pussy who fell in love. And he spells it W-U-V way too easily and suffered immensely because of it. To say da. Okay, that's it. Don't worry. When you're young, you think, you start getting feelings and emotions. You hit puberty like, oh, this is kind of nice. I saw this in an after-school special, which they used to have back in the 80s. And then you're like, wouldn't it be nice if she, oh no, she hates my guts. And then you get old and then just, okay, let's just answer the question. What exactly do you define as love, and how is it different from lust or infatuation? Alright, lust, dude, that's just like you don't care about the girl. Every guy has that. You just want to go and bang the chick. Alright, have you ever, oh dude, I want to hate fuck that chick, or there's a gal that you just want to bang. And this has happened to me a couple times. It's rare, but it does happen where it's like, man, I can't wait to go on a date with this girl, because we used to date in the day. And the girl would talk herself. It was rare, but it happened. The girl, I think like 3 girls, talked themselves or talked me out of being physically attracted to him. And you have to realize how dumb, just what completely, utterly dumb words you have to utter from your mouth to get rid of a guy's sexual attraction. Usually guys can compartmentalize, but if you are so dumb that the guy's like, the genetics start saying, man, if there's a chance she got pregnant, the kid would come out really dumb. This is a bad genetic plan, man. Like, and you're just kind of like, yeah, hey, let's just be friends. Like, ladies, if a guy ever said that, it's, you got to learn the art of conversation. So that's just lust. Lust is just you want to bang the chick and you don't care about her. I mean you hate her. I mean, you certainly want bad things to happen to her, but it's just like I don't care. You know, it's just that. Infatuation. Infatuation is where you are putting yourself ahead of the woman, or the woman putting themselves ahead of the man, depending on which way it goes. Infatuation is where that's where it gets creepy. That's where you think you own them, that you have a right to them, and you are unable to check your feelings and emotions and control them to respect that person's sovereignty and individuality and their rights. So this is where stalkers come from, both male and female. This is where slash tires come from, happened to me. This is where punching, this is where a lot of violence comes in, because how dare you not go out with me, Aaron Clary? By God, I'm the hottest woman and you never tell me. This usually comes from girls who've never been told no or have never been rejected. Look out for them. They do not like getting rejected, if you didn't know. And so you are almost irrelevant to them. Or in the case you're the one that's infatuated with a woman, they themselves and their happiness is irrelevant to you. You view them as a thing that you need to have. And that's where you get abusive boyfriends. I just heard of 2 girls, oddly enough, within a week and a half of each other, where the guys have trackers on them. I'm like, go to the fucking cops? Like, I mean, you know what happens, but until like you actually hear someone tell you the anecdote and they're deadly serious, you're like, holy fuck, why did they get, oh, wait, they chose to be there. They choose to be there. Never mind. They choose it. Don't get it. But that's the sick, twisted infatuation that happens. You know, girls slashing your tires because you break up with them, keying your car, men putting trackers on you. These are not healthy things, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in one of these relationships, get the fuck out. Get a restraining order. And so, every once, in the cacophony of fake rape accusations and women are so oppressed, you forget that there actually are some women who are actually truly the victims of abusive and controlling men. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, those people do exist. So yeah, that's infatuation. Love is where you put that other person first in your life. Like you would take yourself away and remove yourself out of their life if it made them happier. Okay? That's true love. True love is selflessness. True love is loving somebody more than you. And not becoming infatuated, like, they'd be happier without me, I'd leave. That's kind of what I would kind of define as love. Other people say, it's someone you need, but that brings in the whole presupposition, well, I existed just fine without meeting this person, so what, it's like a drug you become addicted to? There's elements of that. But real love is where you're like, holy shit, you're amazing. You're awesome. I want to put you first ahead of... And that doesn't happen commonly. It does not happen frequently. So that's what I would define as love. In general, how is a man's idea of love different from what a woman's might be? I really don't know because I'm not a woman. And I know women say things and we have our specializations. But a man's idea of love would be, again, putting a woman first. Just like you adore that person so much, you give up your life for him, or you'd let him go if it made him happier. A woman's, I'm being honest when I say it, I can't lie. I think men are more emotionally evolved than women. I think men will suffer more than women. And I think women, I don't really think, some of them do, it's possible, and some will put men ahead of themselves. And they make for great couples because that's what true love is where you care about the other person so much. And I've seen women where they, I don't want to say dote on their husband, but they ask themselves, what can I do to make that person happier? What can I do to make this person happy in life? And I've seen that, and that's probably true. That's the best pinnacle you can get where a woman says, what can I do to support my man and make it so he's the best man he can become? What roadblocks can I get out of his way? How can I support him? Men, there's certainly sex and women that stay in shape. That's another form of love. Women that... but it is incredibly rare. Women are... And this is where, sadly, most women's love... I would say 85% of the women fall into is it's looking for a provider, a protector to help raise and protect her children. So they will fall in love... more commonly with a stable man who looks good. And men do the same thing. You're not going to have sex with a fat chick. You don't want to have kids with a dumb girl that talks herself out of your sexual attraction too. I understand it's both ways, but I would say it's more pronounced and more definitive of female love where it's, is this man a good man? Not necessarily bad either. It's what keeps the human species going, and it's vital. Like, okay, is this man a good man? Does he provide? Is he intelligent? Is he smart? Will his genetics result in good offspring? Will he protect my eyes? Is he committed? That type of stuff. But it's more based in resources, like what can this guy do? This is why money is a huge thing. Money and height, because height is a determinant of strength. Money is a determinant of security and food. Just like, a gal with big boobs, you're like, hey, that'll help support a kid. And look at those birthing hips, as opposed to a fat lard ass where you're like, boy, no saber-toothed tiger's going to catch me because I just have to be second slowest, and you are definitely the slowest. So they're just like, I don't want you having my kids. But I would say with women, I have seen instances where a woman actually really loves a guy. It's rare, but it happens. And what's really sad is men are so conditioned to think, I got to trick her into letting me sleep with her, that they don't realize every once in a while, it's very rare, every once in a while, a woman does actually love you for you. It's rare. But it does happen. Again, it's so infrequent, you just kind of like, you don't realize it when it's happening, and it hurts girls' feelings very much. But for the remainder, even healthy relationships, I'd say, although it quickly leads to divorce sometimes, most women are going to fall in love with what type of caliber and quality of man you are. Again, you're not a loser. You produce it, and you need to have physical attraction sadly for women, you have 80% of the women focusing or only settling for the top 20% of men, whereas men kind of evenly. The bottom 10 will, I'll date the bottom 10. The next bottom 20 will date the bottom. In other words, a little bit more egalitarianism and realism going on there. But women genetically, biologically, whatever you want to say, are conditioned to really go after his resources, as opposed to the man and the personality himself. And that's just, I'm sorry, at any point in time it could change. But that's just what I've seen in my 42 years of life. I'm sorry, that's what it is. Certainly seen men marry women for the kind of the same false reasons, or chase after women, like big tits, long legs, and become addicted or controlling. Like, I need to have this hot chick because she's mine. And that's it is true love. True love is rarer in women than it is men, and it's very rare in men to begin with. So it's even more rare in women. If that makes any sense. 3, how can you tell if you are in love with someone or if someone loves you? You can tell you're in love with someone where you, again, would like, dude, I would prefer I suffer pain than her, or vice versa. I would suffer pain instead of him. Where you love that person, you care about that person more. Where hurting that person would make you feel horrible. Intentionally or not, you would feel horrible. And I hate it because it's so cheesy, but my dad said it right. He says, don't marry someone you can live with, marry someone you can't live without. But then again, that gets to the whole paradox. Well, wait, I lived without this person up until now. Now what? Oh, is it an addiction? And like I said, yeah, it's like, holy shit, I can't do without you in my life. But, again, it's... you'll still break up. You'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I can do without these people in my life. So even that's been tested to be wrong. But these are just general rules, and I hate to sound so cynical. Don't get excited. Don't get your hopes up like this is going to happen to you, like you're actually going to fall in love by today's standard. Because you're younger, I know. I think you're like 18. You're still just a youngin'. Man, the way they're raising kids, neither men nor women, girl or boys, the millennials and Gen Zers, I don't think you guys are being raised to be mature enough or capable enough to fall in love. I don't think so. Heck, Gen X barely was. I don't think it's going to happen. So don't think like, please don't believe in the Hallmark channels where it's like, I'm going to fall in love. I have a soulmate. That's for chicks that listen to Harry Connick Jr., all right? You got to be more realistic. Certainly be open to it, but don't bank on it. Don't live. You got to go do your own thing, man. And great, girl happens to come along, awesome. But I'm waiting for my soulmate. No. You're going to ruin your life doing it that way. And then how can you tell if someone loves you? I hate to say it. I was never really trained or aware. There were girls that I later on found out loved me. And it's sad, but Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I know this is not an excuse. This is the explanation, which is also the excuse, but I'm explaining how it is. Especially you younger boys. You younger boys, look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, especially if you're poor. The whole idea of marriage and family and kids, dude, if you can barely support yourself, it becomes purely an academic theoretical question. That's like, that's cute. Like, oh, what's Jay-Z and whatever he's married to? I don't know. I don't care. I need to find a fucking job. And that's what a lot of young men, especially myself as well, you're not even aware there's like girls that might love you for you. It's a sad statement because you are too fucking busy working and putting food on the table. And you girls who think, oh, well, you should pay attention. You girls at any time could stop voting Democrat. You could stop voting for socialism. You could stop it so that at any point in time where the government keeps growing and growing and growing and takes over more and more male responsibility and grows as a percentage of the GDP, leaving less and less economic opportunity for us men to grow. Okay? Because if it was a booming economy, like remember those evil, racist, bigoted, horrible, fascist, literally Hitler 50s, where, I don't know, men could graduate from high school and then get a job and buy a house and support a family. Remember those times? Yeah, if a guy who's worth his salt, if he can't support himself, the fuck if he's going to go and have kids? All right, now that's Western civilization. I know all the other cultures in the world just fuck, kids, go to Wyoming, go to the fucking ghetto, go to the barrio. It's all over the place. The guys will fucking deadbeat dads, fuck women, get them pregnant. You girls won't abort them because you're just as dumb. Those guys don't give a shit, and those guys aren't quality men that you would inevitably marry or fall in love with. But what's sad is good men usually don't come from wealth. They're not spoiled little brats. They persevere. They come up from nothing. But as there's less and less economic growth, and look at rolling 10-year average GDP and lower labor force participation rates, and less economic opportunity for men. And you girls keep voting Democrats, so we need to have more education. We all have to get doctorates. Now we can't start dating to 26. Oh, wait, we got student loans. Now we got to pay those off. It is very hard for a man to break through the first two layers of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is safety, like not getting eaten by saber-toothed tigers or bears, but more predominantly food, clothing, and shelter. And if a guy can't even get to that point just to cover his own ass, I don't know any honest man or a good man that would then immediately burden himself with a wife and kids. So when your nose is in the grind just to stave off poverty, starvation, and thirst, just to get out of debt, and then try to get a stable career, because that was the other thing, like, I would never bring a kid in unless I not only took care of myself, but then I had a stable career that I knew was going to provide for a wife and kids. That doesn't happen today. That just does not happen again. And again, short economic lessons. When you girls stop voting in the government to take all the economic growth away and quit having these high taxes and slowing economic growth, and you'll let us actually have industries and businesses develop. Oh, by the way, we can't have any industry here. There's global warming. Oh, what about the children? Well, you ain't gonna have no children to worry about global warming because men are just like, okay, China's got all our jobs. What the fuck? Anyway, so what women are gonna face, as well as men, what you both youngins are gonna face, is that the men, for the most part, are gonna be way too busy trying to survive, trying to get by, trying to just get a stability going, that they have the luxury then to worry about, does the girl love me or not? Because it's sad. The first girl that ever loved me, I was 17, she was 15. Fucking Christ, you're like, I got student debt coming up and loans, and I got to go to college, and I got $3,000 saved up. How the fuck do I do this? It's the last thing on your mind. If the girl ain't having sex with you, it's definitely the last thing on your mind. Other girls, it was really sad. There was this really nice girl I was dating, and I could not for the life of me get my banking career or any career to go. And it was, and plus, truth is, I wanted to bang other chicks. That was another reason. I will be honest. And I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. But again, when it's kind of like, shit, I got to live in a basement, and I was at the time, just to make ends meet. And oh shit, I'm living off a dance income and maybe some security work. It's not exactly the best way or the best time to start thinking, do women love me? Should I cast my seed into the future? So I have very little experience in telling you. All I know is that in hindsight, a good way to tell if somebody loves you is if you reject them, they cry. Now, girls all cry all the time, but they really cry and you're like, oh shit, and you start to feel bad. That's like God or nature kind of tapping you on the head. Hey, dumbass, she might like you. And you're like, what? Well, that's a nice theory. I need to work another shift. So, how to tell otherwise? They pay attention? This is for girls. Guys will just... For guys, it's hard because guys, you girls don't know where he wants to bang you and not. A guy, if he likes you and is in love with you, I don't know, he'll stop chasing other girls. I don't know. What did I do? I just stopped chasing other girls, although a lot of that has to do more with age too, to be perfectly like, what? Yeah, no, I'm not going. No, I'm not paying a cover. No, fuck that. No, I'd rather be committed. I'd rather be monogamous. No, you can have the 20-year-olds. I don't care. They're worshiping who now? Who sings what stupid ass top 10 pop song? No, I don't care. No, you have. For how can a girl tell if a guy? He'll just tell you, I guess. I mean, he'll propose or he'll commit to you, or that's one way. He's not controlling. Here's a real good way. I guess this is the best way for girls to tell. He's like, go do what you want. Get out of here. Go do it. Not like get out of my house, but dude, do what you want. Yeah, go hang out with the girls. He's not sniffing over you. And what are you doing? What's going on? He's just like, nah, go do what you want. Because he actually likes you and wants you to be you. That's kind of the key thing where it's just like, no, I like you to go do your thing and sing at the church or bake brownies or go volunteer at whatever it is you volunteer at, because he wants you to continue living your life. So I think that would probably be the best sign. For how to tell if a woman loves you, they pay attention. And they consciously put you first. And you may not pay attention to it. You may not pick up on this because you're too busy trying to deal with your own shit show of a life. But if you stop and watch what the girls do, like one girl brought me food when I was working security. I didn't catch up. I didn't realize it at the time. Another girl called and, what was it? Specifically requested me. I was dating this girl in college. She specifically requested me for an escort when I was working security. And she was crying. And I'm like, what is wrong now? What? I'm busy. You know, I mean, hey, but you girls created these monsters. Don't for a second. You were kind of cold-hearted. Well, you know what? If you ladies maybe you made it through economic growth and opportunities and tuition wasn't hard because you kept sucking Democrat dick at the voting booth, maybe there would have been a little bit more happiness. But you girls obviously want to replace the men with the state. So, but getting back to the point. They'll pay attention to what you said. Like one, I mentioned offhand. I like my favorite flowers were lilies. I think those are the ones that are at the church during Easter. And I remember as a kid at church, like you'd see them and they're huge, and I like the smell of them. Girlfriend I got today got me lilies out of fucking nowhere. I mean, just stuff that stands out. Is like 3 or 4 standard deviations out there. Like you're like, whoa, that's weird, and you don't think it's love. You just that's weird. Well, stop and think about it for a second. The girl probably paid attention to something you said because she really likes you, and then you're like, oh, and then aside from that, they're not very verbal. They don't tell you. You don't. He was giving him signals, and the guys are meanwhile slaving away, working in the coal mine, and like. I didn't pick up in your signals? What? I even had a guy today, or not today, modern day times. The girl he was dating, like, you just don't pick up on my signals. And this guy is 40. He's like, no, fuck off. He told her, like, just fuck off. No, I'm not gonna, no, we have the English language. Fuck off with that shit. But yeah, it's not gonna be obvious, and you gotta pay attention. You gotta come up from supporting yourself to see what the girl is saying otherwise. But yeah, man, I wish it was more clear. I wish we had more of a 1950s nuclear family. Dad sits you down and explains it. Mom sits you down and explains it. Oh, that's how they kind of socially integrate you a little bit. Like they take you to a dance or a dinner. They teach you etiquette. They teach women how to interact with men and vice versa. What's polite, what's a gentleman, what's a lady. But we don't have that anymore. We have you fucking degenerate piece of crap millennial hipsters with your heads shaved, dyed hair, piercings, tattoos, and your worthless fucking degrees. So for you, like I said, your generation, it's going to be damn well near impossible. Because I think maybe women and men at your age are too emotionally stunted to fall in love, frankly. So, keep an eye out. It'll happen. There's genetics, there's biology. It will overcome whatever leftist socialist slop the teachers and the professors and the media and the television and the social webs tell people. It is possible, but damn, if it wasn't rare enough already, it certainly is rare now, dude. And I'm terribly sorry. So, anyway, that was a happy little video. If you got questions, talk to America's older brother at assholeconsulting.com. And I, the world's only professional asshole, for money, will give you the swift kick in the ass you need. So, we'll talk to you kids later. Toodles.